Hi, guys. I wanted to talk about something that I went through this morning um, as I was awakening. And typically, when I awaken, I just start almost processing things that are in my subconscious. And and so this particular time, I was thinking about my son. I mean, it was I was reflect. I guess my what was coming up from my subconscious was about my son because we had just spoken yesterday. Um, and so, what I realized as I started to think about him, I literally started processing all of his concerns, all of his burdens. And as I did that, I felt it in my body where it actually hurt me, like it caused my stomach to turn and me to get um, pin needles, feel like I have pin needles in my solar plexus, in my stomach, and my upper stomach. And so in that moment, I realized that we were never intended to carry anyone else's burden. We were never intended to fix anyone. Well, it's not that I'm realizing that now. I've been knowing that. But because it's still an underlying current in my system, because I've been doing that for so long in my life, I was actually expected to do that in my life. That it's things. It's like my subconscious is bringing up things that need to be released, that needs to in order for me to continue to cross over. It's like being on a bridge, and every step is just releasing something that's still lingering. It might not be the things that I really needed to work on, because those things allowed working out of those things, dealing with those things, managing those things, putting those things in their place is what got me to the bridge, right? And so now while I'm on the bridge, all the residue, the little things that still linger within me are now being exposed to be released. And so as I'm reflecting, or not even reflecting, but just thinking about my son's situation, I'm feeling all this pain, all this discomfort in my body. And I know immediately that one is not mine and I need to release it. And I do. And it's all about a choice. It's you have to choose what's best for you. Right? If God said, you know, to give me all your burdens, lay your burdens upon me. What does that mean? Does that mean worrying about someone else? Does that mean trying to fix somebody else's situation? Does that mean you trying to be the savior? You trying to help to a fault? What does that mean? It literally means allowing everyone else's situation to be their situation, because they are being dealt the dynamics to grow them, and they have to do the work. They have to choose to want better. They have to choose to do better. They have to, and not saying that he's not. I'm not saying that he's not, because he's come a long way, and I just love seeing his face and him building his body and his. I just love him. I love both of my children, and I just I'm amazed at God. You know, I'm amazed at how God can answer you and give you what you desire. And I desired for him to be whole. And so he is. And now he's working through the other things, those underlining things that he needs to conquer in order to fulfill his highest esteem, his highest goal, his highest desires, you know, to connect with his higher self and to walk in righteousness. Period. That's an individual assignment. Is we can be there as support. We can be there holding the ladder while they climb out of the well. We can be that. But we cannot do the work for them. We cannot do the work for others. But we definitely can be there and hold the ladder for them. And so as I start to overstand that at that moment, that pain, that discomfort released, because it's not mine. I don't have to be there in the thick of it with them. But I can stand on the sidelines cheering them on. I can, not that my belief is the end all be all, but it helps because I have my own divine team. I have my own source of energy. I have my own power, and I can use my power to help others, to help them see clearer. I can do that. It doesn't harm them, and it doesn't harm me. And so if you're feeling that anytime you're trying to help anyone, when you're trying to carry their burdens, when you're trying to make it happen for someone else, playing God in their life, then just know that you can release those burdens just like you released the ones that you were carrying. The worry, the anguish, the scarcity mindset. You can release all of that. And you can give those burdens over because they were never yours to carry. You're on an individuated path to yourself, to your higher self. So you can cross over the bridge safely and in peace. You understand? But I want you to get to a point where you overstand. And so I say understand a lot because that was the word I was taught. But it's more to standing than being under. But you need to be over that thing. Overstand where you are. Overstand who you are. Overstand what you have come here to do. Overstand. That means you have risen above it all. It is not your duty to carry the burdens for others. You can be the light because you have carried your own, that because you have overcome your own. So you be the light and just walk in that light without forcing it on anyone else. I used to do that. I used to be like, look, this is how I'm laughing now, and I'll probably still do that because I'm just a teacher at heart. But I'm learning, and I have learned that I teach more in my walk and just being who I am. Allowing people to have their thoughts of me, allowing people to have their perceptions of me, allowing people to perceive me in whatever way they feel necessary, because I understand that their perception and the way they perceive me is the extent of their mind, right? It's not the extent of mine. It's the extent of their mind, their view. And so I'm okay. That's why I don't seek validation outside of myself. I'm on this journey by myself. I've walked this path by myself. So I need no one's approval. I need no one's insight, unless they are at a place that I am headed. If they're not headed where I'm trying to go, or if they're not there, then what they have to say is obsolete. Okay. So I didn't intend to say all of that, but the gist of it is, take the weight off. Unzip the vest, the heavy weight of others' problems. They're not yours. You have your own. How can you carry yours and theirs? You have your own vibrational frequency to maintain. And how can you maintain it if you're in someone else's lane, trying to manage theirs? You can't. We can always lend a helping hand, but you have to be mindful of who you extend your hand to. Okay? So, bless you. I love you. Lay down the burdens. They're not yours. Be there as the guiding light for those who need it. And live a life of abundance, because it's your birthright.